Words on My Skin, The Monster Within by Sabbi.B.Conscious. Journal Entry 3. Dear Diary, I want you to know I'm not only writing for my sisters who are in relationships pondering about how it is working for them. I'm also writing for my sisters who are in my current situation of being single-ish. I think I need to clarify that. So, Nate and I decided that our marriage was not working. Well, I actually made the decision for him. I mean, it was staring us in the face for years, and yet no one wanted to be the first one to say it out loud. Eventually, we became roommates. I was in our bedroom, and he was in the living room. We functioned as single individuals in our marital home, which is why I use the term single-ish. And at the time, we both thought it was working, but soon realized it was not. So I sincerely understand the perspective of my sisters who are single, not to mention those of you who are married, constantly trying to figure out your next steps and how you're going to navigate your journey. That being said, it is obvious that I have been on both sides of the street, so I'm going to share my experiences pertaining to both. Now let's get into our first convo. I know I'm not the only one battling the scenarios swirling in my head, fantasizing about what could be on the other side of the fence where the grass looks greener, yet fearful of the repercussions of my premeditated actions. Did you throw caution to the wind to explore something else with somebody else? And did you get caught with your hand in the cookie jar? Were you bombarded with insults like, "You disgust me"? Or did you get the subtle version, "Damn, I thought you were different"? Were you forced to walk in shame, abandonment, loneliness, guilt, sadness, fury, and frustration? Or were your lustful thoughts stagnated in a space of inaction because of the death grip of what a loyal commitment meant to you? You're still there with him, aren't you? Unfulfilled, unhappy that you stayed, and miserable because you're scared to leave. The years are ticking by, and you're struggling with your monster that wants to spring from its cave. If it does, trust me, it will never return. This was me, and the reason why the second part of this book is named The Monster Within. It refers to my repressed sexual needs that I am slowly uncovering. I know this can be a touchy subject, especially if you uncovered your monster because of early trauma. But my monster is specifically the uncovering of my libido, because I was too immersed in my relationship to remember it existed. His needs came before my own, and it was only when I realized I was half dead sexually that I sought to bring myself back to life. If the word monster is uprooting anything negative, I suggest you move on to my next entry. I really want you to stay with me, but I also want you to heal any lingering trauma in your own time. So the truth is, I thought sex was what I needed to fill in the gap in our relationship. I concluded it was the key ingredient for my fulfillment and happiness. Sounds familiar? I questioned my thinking, saying it's probably because I craved it for so long, 12 years to be exact, or the fact that subliminally I have been conditioned this way. I mean, what messages do we see in society? We're programmed as women to be everything to our partner without demanding too much for ourselves. Constantly, as a partner, and especially a wife, we want our husbands to remain attracted to us, so we ensure, with sex, he is completely satisfied. whether we're in the mood or not, forsaking our needs for his. Day after day, I allowed Nate to penetrate the depths of me. I closed my eyes, waiting for that orgasmic moment that would make me feel complete too. It never happened. He went on his merry way, whistling and singing a songless tune, and I was there, fuming, feeling like a sexualized object. My discovery was my needs were much more than the act of sex. He showed me that. Don't worry, I will get to him and that story soon. I don't want you to be confused. I'm not talking about Nate, but someone who walked in my life and turned it upside down. He showed me I was seeking intimacy instead. I wanted a friendship with my husband. I wanted Nate to creep into my mind and bury himself in my soul, just like he did. I was longing for Nate to reach me differently. He didn't, couldn't, or wouldn't. There is so much to say, but right now, I just want to start by asking you this. Thank you for listening to Journal Entry 3. Subscribe and join me for my next journal entry. Until then, be conscious.